Are you aware that lawn care and landscaping can differentiate your home from other homes of equal perceived value? Many websites estimate that proper and attractive landscaping can add 15% of additional value to your home. However, if you don't do it properly, maintaining those lovely landscapes can require too much time and money. You want to be able to enjoy your floral and plant beds, not become a slave to them. The answer? Low maintenance landscaping. Learn about the tools, tricks, and tips for installing plastic edging to achieve attractive, low cost, and time saving landscapes. That's next in this episode of Bud's Odd Jobs. In preparation for your project, you will require the following landscaping materials: plastic edging, landscape barrier cloth, landscaping stakes, brick nuggets, plastic planting pots. You can also substitute plastic food containers in place of plastic planting pots if you wish. Having the necessary tools to prepare your landscape beds is essential to your success. To ensure that you're able to properly prepare your beds, I recommend the following tools. You'll need a garden hose, a hand spade, garden hoe, garden rake, an edging tool, a long-handled sod plunger. These are also sometimes called bulb planters. You want a wheelbarrow or a utility wagon, and you should also have some garden gloves to protect your hands. I also recommend the following tools for cutting the plastic landscape edging and for also trimming the barrier cloth. You'll need a rubber mallet. This is used to drive those landscaping stakes into the plastic edging. You'll want a utility knife and also tin snips or pruning shears. This is to help cut the edging. When you assemble the two pieces together, you'll need to do some cutting on the edging. You want a wide blade putty knife. You also should have some knee pads since you're going to be on the ground to protect your knees. And I would also recommend several pieces of cardboard. That's used as a surface to cut barrier cloth. The easiest way to lay out a functional design with gradual and uniform curves is to use a fairly rigid garden hose to form the proposed lines of the edging. Laying a hose down to lay out your design does two things for you. First, it allows you to visualize your design before you begin excavating your lawn, and secondly, the hose can be used to guide you in cutting the perimeter line of your bed. Another thing to consider when laying out your intended design is the size of plants, bushes, etc. that you plan to use to fill the landscaped area. Obviously, the larger the plants or bushes, the larger the area needed to accommodate them. Finally, you must also consider the cost of the material to cover the surface area of your bed. Be aware that the larger the design, the more costly it will be for the surface materials that you plan to use as a decorative cover. Once you're all happy with your design, it's time to cut in the edging trench. If you intend to incorporate curves into your landscape design, you need to make certain that the curves in your design are functional. To ensure this, you want to consider the type of mower that you have and whether it will be capable of following the radiuses of your design. If the radiuses are too tight, you'll have a tough time following the curves as you attempt to mow against the edging. I make my radiuses fairly tight around any landscape shrubs or trees because I use a lawnmower with four-wheel steering. That allows me to easily follow a tight curve in a design. If you do not have this type of mower, you should consider making your curves more subtle. Using the garden hose as a guide, carefully begin cutting in the edging trench. The depth of the trench should be about 4 to 5 inches, depending on the depth of your edging. The trench should be cut as perfectly vertical as possible on the outside edge. A good edging tool makes cutting the trench much easier, and you'll also use this edging tool to help you maintain the edging going forward. Once you have your horizontal outside line cut in, you want to place an angled cut on the inside portion of the horizontal cut. You want to cut the angle towards the bottom front edge. and then you want to remove any sod within the bed. Once you've got all the sod cleared and you have the bed raked out with your lawn rake, you'll want to now begin inserting the edging. Place the edging in the prepared trench and secure the edging against the outside edge using plastic edging stakes. You should drive the edging stakes using a good rubber mallet. They should be driven where two sections of edging are joined, and then also you should place edging stakes in approximately every 4 to 5 feet depending on the number of curves in your edging design. If you need to join sections of edging, you'll want to cut the top and bottom portions of the leading edge of the plastic edging using either a utility knife or tin snips. Cutting of the edging is necessary so that when you join two sections they can be overlapped, thus creating a solid weed barrier. Now secure the two sections of edging with the provided connector pin, and now with the edging in place you can begin backfilling the design. Rake some of the loose soil to create a sloping surface towards the outer perimeter of the prepared bed. Make sure that you tightly pack the soil against the inside edge of the entire length of the installed edging. The packed soil helps the edging stay firmly in place. When the soil is firmly packed, you should have about 2 inches of space below the top of the inside surface of the plastic edging. When buying barrier cloth, be certain that you purchase a thick and sturdy premium cloth rated for at least 25 years or greater. If you purchase a thinner cloth, it'll be necessary to double up on the layers to ensure proper protection from weed growth. Roll out the barrier cloth, ensuring that you overlap each row about 3 or 4 inches. Also, ensure that you extend the cloth at least 4 inches beyond the farthest section of the outside plastic edging. This excess is important to ensure that you have ample coverage. The cloth tends to pull away from the edging when you place the weight of brick nuggets on the cloth surface. Once you have the barrier cloth in place, you'll need to lay cardboard under all portions of barrier cloth that extend outside the landscape bed. You need to trim any excess cloth that extends far beyond the bed's plastic edging perimeter. Using a utility knife, cut any excess barrier cloth using the cardboard as a cutting surface. You should cut the cloth about 3 or 4 inches out past the outside edge of the edging layout. Once the barrier cloth is trimmed, you are now ready to cover the cloth with brick nuggets, stone, or lava rocks, whatever your choice for landscaping material. I incorporate brick nuggets into my landscaping. As a rule of thumb, you want to lay about 2 to 3 inches of cover material on top of your barrier cloth. Be sure to check the coverage instructions on the bag of your selected landscaping cover material. I have found that you will always require about 1/3 more material than which you initially planned for. The moral of the story is, don't skip on the brick nuggets. Once I have adequately filled the area, I pack the nuggets firmly into the sloped area next to the edging. This provides additional lateral support to the edging. Packing gives the edging some structural integrity for the weight of the mower for when you edge your grass against the landscape perimeter. As a finishing touch, I use my wide blade putty knife to neatly tuck the excess barrier cloth down between the nuggets and the inside edge of the edging material. This helps discourage any weed growth into the bed, and it also gives the edge a clean and tidy finish. One key to ensuring that your landscapes stay maintenance-free is by incorporating perennial plants into your design. There are many strong and attractive perennials to choose from for your landscape, including forsythia, asters, Texas ranger, chrysanthemums, daffodils, hosta, hardy hibiscus, purple coneflower, peonies, Russian sage, Siberian iris, and also hardy lilies. One of the more predominant perennials that I use in my design is hostas. Hostas are low maintenance. They're shade tolerant and they'll thrive in almost any type of soil. Additionally, hostas can be divided to expand the plantings in your landscape. There is about a 4-week window during the period of September to October when you can divide your plants and use them as additional plantings. You should allow at least 3 to 4 weeks for the hostas to become established before the soil freezes solid. I use several varieties of hostas with color variations. I typically alternate these colors when placing the plants into the landscape design. To discourage uncontrolled spreading of my hostas and other perennials, I pot my plants in containers. To incorporate my containers into the landscape design, I follow these 4 easy steps. Step 1, I position the containers proportionally on my landscape, ensuring that the plants are correctly positioned and proportionally spaced. Step 2, I then brush away the brick nuggets from the area of the intended planting, and I use my utility knife to cut an X in the barrier cloth. I then fold back the barrier cloth to expose the soil. Step 3, then I use my long-handled sod plunger to make a receiving hole that is large enough for the container. Before placing the container into the hole, I remove the bottom of the container with a utility knife. This is to allow for root expansion. Step 4. Finally, I place my planting into the landscape, then I backfill it with soil. I reposition the barrier cloth and the brick nuggets around the new planting, and then I water the plant. Low-maintenance landscaping simplifies your life and gives you much more time to do the things you really love. I urge you to try some of these landscaping methods. You are certain to increase the value of your home, and you'll have much more free time to spend with family and friends. Whatever is on your list of home project endeavors, I wish you safety and success. And if you found this content as informative and helpful, I urge you to hit that subscribe button and also give me a thumbs up. Be sure to check out my introduction video, which will give you an idea of future content, and be sure to share this information with fellow homeowners. They too may benefit from this and other upcoming video topics here on Bud's Odd Jobs. Thanks for watching.